Chapter 0, Lesson 5 on multiplying and dividing rational numbers. We multiply fractions. We are going to multiply the numerators across and then multiply the denominators across. So left to right, and then simplify our answer. A few things to remember about multiplication though is if you have any mixed numbers that you need to multiply, you must change them to improper fractions first. So no mixed numbers, no big number part with a fraction part. You have to change it to the mixed number. Also remember in multiplying, you can cross simplify in multiplication if any numerator has a common factor with any of the denominators. So we'll look at how we cross simplify. Let's do a couple examples. So let's start off the first one, 1/4 times 2/9. So I'm going to do it first just the very simple way. Multiply across 2 over 36. And then I would simplify that to give me 1 over 18. Now, let's look at what happened if I would have cross-simplified. 1/4 times 2/9. I could simplify the 2 and the 4 because they can both be divided by 2. They have a common factor of 2. And when I divide them both by 2, that common factor, I get a 1 and a 2. And then I multiply across and get 1/18. So you can either do the work before, when you cross-simplify, or do the simplifying after. All right, let's look down the next one. -3/5 times 1/2. So I first have to change this to mixed numbers. So -3/5 times, remember I do 2 times 1 and then plus 1. So I get 3/2. Okay, I can check to cross simplify. So I say, is there anything that there's a numerator of 3? Are there any denominators that have a common factor, a 5 and a 2? Nope. Well, this one's obviously also a 3, so there's no common factors. So I just multiply across. Now remember your rules with negatives when you multiply. If I have 1 negative times 1 positive, this is a positive, it's going to be a negative answer. So I just multiply normally, 9/10, and then say, well, a negative times a positive, my answer is -9/10. Okay, before we talk about dividing, we need to make sure we remember what a reciprocal is. Reciprocal, we just switch the numerator and denominator. So 2/3, the reciprocal is 3/2. And I cannot make a reciprocal with a mixed number. So if I need to find the reciprocal of 2 3/4, the first thing I have to do is change that to be 11/4. 4 times 2 plus 3. So 11/4, and then the reciprocal of that would be 4/11. We can talk about dividing. So again, before we do any division or multiplication, you must change mixed numbers to improper fractions. And my basic rule is I'm just going to multiply by the reciprocal. You might remember that we've talked about KFC. Keep the first fraction, keep it the same unless you have to change it to an improper fraction. Then flip the second fraction, which is making it the reciprocal. And then change the division sign to a multiplication sign. So let's look at an example. First one, there's no mixed numbers, so I'm going to keep, flip, and change. And now I'm ready to multiply. So I get 8 over 12, and that simplifies to 2 over 3. All right, the second one, I'm dividing 3/4 by -12.5. So the first thing I need to do is to rewrite the -12.5 as -25/2. And now I can keep, flip, and change. And now I'm ready to multiply. I'm going to cross simplify here. I have a 2 and a 4. So I get a 1 and a 2. Nothing else to simplify, so I get 3 over 50. And because I had a positive times a negative, my answer is -3/50.